Shabbat Shalom, dear friends. It is especially nice to see you here this evening. I did try to stop the motorcade on Mulholland, I want you to know. And I told them if he really wanted to do something worthwhile, he would be here tonight to honor Rabbi Strok and our board of directors. Again, the president never listens to me. I'm telling you, it doesn't matter who the president is. This Tuesday, if you sit in on the Melton class that is studying the Cairo Geniza, among the students you'll meet is Carol Rosen. Carol is there you are, a longtime member of our congregation. But also in the class is Carol's mother, who I see here today. Last Saturday was Ruthie Davis's birthday. And I don't think Mrs. Davis will mind my sharing what birthday she celebrated because as I see her, she's wearing a pin. Last Saturday, she turned 103. Another student in the class is Mario Muller. Mario, who has shared on many occasions with many of us that he grew up with little or virtually no Jewish education, took a Melton class about 10 years ago. He is still taking Melton classes. Last Saturday morning at his son's bar mitzvah right here at Stephen Wise Temple, Mario spoke about the impact of Melton on his life. Over the years, I will tell you, we have offered well over 100 Melton classes, including classes for parents of our early childhood center, parents whose children are in our elementary school, our day school, our religious school. And together they've studied Torah texts and other texts on things like the death penalty, euthanasia, abortion, Israel, raising children, Jewish history, philosophy, and the list goes on and on. And typically every year, over 110 students take classes, sometimes even more. And because students in any given year will often register for several classes, this year, this is a big number. We had 315 registrations in our Melton program. I believe that we are probably the largest Melton school of any synagogue in the United States of America. Anywhere in the world. I want you to all, if I may ask, that you keep that in mind as I take you back about 12 or 15 years when our Center for Jewish Life decided to launch our Melton program. I was interviewing potential directors when a youthful Rabbi Karen Strok walked into my office, and dare I say, she is still youthful, to interview. She had a smile on her face, and we have not looked back. With Melton schools all over the world, the main office of Melton told us that if we filled one class, if we got one complete class off the ground in our initial year, we'd be off to a great start. Rabbi Strok came up with an idea. Rather than market the course, which is a 2-year core curriculum, 60 weeks, she created a taste of Melton. And potential students got an overview of the program. And then our first teacher, Neil Schnall, who is here with his wife, Yael, and I'm pleased to say has remained a member of our faculty, taught a sample Melton class for about 10 minutes. We offered a few cookies, our special Stephen Wise Temple coffee, and 10 minutes later, they were gone. But the results, 3 full classes, 60 students, apparently unprecedented in Melton lore. I've devoted much of my life to adult education. Serious adult education is unique because it's fully voluntary. If you want to graduate college, there are certain classes you have to take, whether they are good or bad, whether the professor is terrific or not. But everything we do here, everything, whether it's a class, a seminar, a lecture, has to be compelling, has to be important, and has to be interesting. And soon we had a wonderful problem. After the students finished the 2-year core curriculum, they wanted more. So we added what you would probably call graduate classes. And then word spread, and Rabbi Strok kept recruiting, and more of our members register. All the while, current students wouldn't leave. They stayed on for 5 years and 10 years and more. And at a time when membership retention at most synagogues presents challenges, and we're certainly not absent from those issues, something like 98% of Melton students maintain their membership in our congregation. And then word spread beyond the walls, the metaphoric walls of Stephen Wise Temple, and non-members began registering, and some of them became members of our congregation. Under Rabbi Strok's direction, the school gained international attention and won an award recognizing our school as an exemplar for Melton schools around the world. None of this would have happened, none of this, were it not for our extraordinary faculty, Neil Schnall, Benzie Kogan, Rabbi Adam Schaefer, our newest member, Rabbi Leslie Alexander, Rabbi Shana Chandler-Leon, and Rabbi Dalia Samansky. Dalia, did I see you here? I thought I saw you. There you go. Thank you for coming. For 10 years you served on our faculty. And then we added Karen Goldenstein, who has been an absolute blessing to our program. So tonight, we recognize our Melton program, and especially Rabbi Strok, who is now stepping aside as director. It's also fitting that on this Shabbat, so many members of our board of directors are present and will later be installed. We had a bit of a dream that our board, our lay leadership, would be serious students of Jewish texts and of Jewish thought. So let me just ask you, if you are a member of our board of directors and you have taken a Melton class, would you please raise your hands? Keep them up high if you would. And if you are the spouse of a Melton, of a board of directors member. So we found out, thank you very much, that 33 members of our board, 33 over the years have enrolled in Melton, some remaining with us for many, many years. In fact, and by the way, this is fantastic, 16 members of the advisory board of Melton are board members of Stephen Wise Temple. By the way, speaking of members, every once in a while a member will send me and my colleagues like a story or a joke that they think is funny, that they'll say, you know, you can use this from the pulpit, right? And some, by the way, certain things we cannot use from the pulpit, folks. They're really funny, so we keep sending them, but they're not appropriate from the pulpit. I got one today that is both funny and appropriate from the pulpit, so I just got to share it with you. This little boy comes home and he's speaking to his parents and he says, listen, I want you to know you may be getting a note from the school. And his parents say, what happened? He said, well, there was a bowl of apples, and next to the bowl was a note that said, take only one, God is watching. But on another table, I saw a bowl of cookies, so I put a note next to it, take all you want, God is tied up with the apples. To the Strok family, to Josh, Micah, and Avi, thank you for sharing your beloved wife and mother, and Karen, if I may. With great commitment, you have shaped loving cohorts of students in caring communities. You and the students have been there for one another, not only for learning, but through celebration and through grief. They know, and I know, what you have done for them and the program. If ever this cliche was appropriate, then allow me. Rabbi Karen Strok has been the glue that has bound these students, our faculty, the learning, and our temple together. On behalf of an appreciative congregation and the President of the United States, I want you to know more personally for me as well. Thank you you have touched many lives. And while you and I have a few more gray hairs than the first day that you walked into my office, you still have that smile on your face. And so do I. And so tonight, along with our Melton School, we honor you. My friends, please join me in thanking Rabbi Karen Strok.
Shabbat shalom, everybody. I'll tell you that the last time you tried to honor me was May 2020 and COVID hit. So I'm just saying you might not be so sad that I'm leaving. I don't know. Okay, so I wasn't planning to say this, but one of the things that I teach my Musar students is that the generosity midah, the character trait of generosity, only works when we learn how to receive well. That we're very good at giving, but when it comes to really receiving, it's hard, it's work. So I hope tonight that I can model what that looks like. I am so filled with joy and love and receiving all that's coming my way. I want to invite you into a scene. It's 2004. I was a fairly new mom teaching 8th grade at Melton Community High School. And I decided to bring my family to Shabbat services at Stephen Wise Temple for the first time. Josh and I sat in the back row with our 2 little kids. Before services began, Avi, who's here tonight and turning 19 years old, he was a little over a year, and he started walking up and down saying, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom. And people would just pick him up and put him on their lap and pass him to the next person, and he was just thrilled. Meanwhile, his brother Micah sat very quietly in the back row, taking in the whole scene. When services began, our family participated singing and clapping, and the kids were pretty well behaved, but they were still kids. About halfway through the service, I remember Rabbi Hersher walked off the bima all the way to the back towards us, and I looked at my husband Josh, and I whispered, oh, by the way, he didn't know I was a rabbi, and he didn't know I taught at Melton. I was just this person praying in the back. I looked at my husband, and I whispered, oh my God, we're getting kicked out of temple right now. So Rabbi Hersher got down on one knee. With the warmest smile, he greeted my family, and he gently said, I hope your family joins us here every Shabbat. He returned to the bima, and he continued leading the service. What Rabbi Hersher did that night, and what Rabbi Yoshi has done throughout his entire career, is to embody the wisdom of Pirkei Avot 1:16. V'hevei mekabel et kol ha'adam besever panim yafot. We should receive every person we meet with a lovely expression, with a warm greeting. This is a lesson in audacious hospitality. This is the Torah of Melton at its best. Greeting one another warmly, giving each other the benefit of the doubt, bringing graciousness and kindness to every space. One panim yafa, one cheerful face that I look forward to seeing every week at Shabbat services after Rabbi Hersher said that statement to me was Karen Goldenstein. Karen and I became fast friends, and we even ensured that our children would be in N3 together with teacher Vera, right here at Wise. My ties to this place are very deep, and that's why tonight feels like a full circle moment. I've served the Wise Temple community during each of my 20 years since becoming a rabbi. From teaching Wise women and partnering with Andrea Gardenhauer, who's right there, who I wasn't expecting, hi, We led Rosh Chodesh, it's a girl thing, and it was Andrea who encouraged Rabbi Woznica to interview me for this job. And now Andrea works for Melton International, you see, full circle. Rabbi Woznica did invite me to serve as Melton director, and we've complemented each other so beautifully ever since. I will always be grateful for the trust and support Rabbi Woznica has offered me through the years. I can't find him now. Where is he? Oh, there he is. Hi. He appreciated my vision for what this program could be, and he encouraged me to dream big and gave me the tools to implement all my big ideas. He's been a constant partner in the work of making this program as successful as it's been, and I have learned so much from the way he leads and teaches. But what I admire most about Rabbi Woznica is the way he authentically lives the Judaism that he so deeply loves. I'll miss our laughs together. We sure did have a lot of fun. This night represents the best of who we are. At Melton, we are truly a Kehillah Kadosha, a truly sacred community, which is a microcosm of the greater Stephen Wise Temple community. At Melton, we live the Torah of greeting each other warmly each week as we share our lives for better and for worse. We've shown up for each other time and again. Throughout the years, we extended kindness to one another as together we mourn the loss of Melton classmates, friends, and loved ones. At the same time, we've graciously shared in each other's joys as we celebrated weddings of children and grandchildren, welcomed more babies than I can count. We've embraced new members into the Stephen Wise Temple family. We've celebrated adult B'nai Mitzvah and marked moments when so many of you were honored by the various organizations that you serve. We've traveled together, acknowledged milestone birthdays and anniversary, and the list goes on and on. So much has happened since we opened our doors in 2010. I am confident that you will remain a strong Melton community moving forward. With her warm and inviting smile, Karen Goldenstein has been, Rabbi Woznica thinks it was me that was the glue, but in fact, behind the scenes, Karen has been the glue holding Melton together for 5 years. She is the most efficient administrator, and she is ready and able to become the leader that Melton needs at this moment. Karen knows the culture, the people, and her family is so deeply embedded into the fabric of Stephen Wise Temple. To the leaders who have served on the Melton Advisory Board, including our board chairs, Sharona, Carl, Kelly, and Corey, thank you. To our extraordinary Melton faculty who serves us with wisdom and kindness, from our longest serving teacher who has been there since day one, the incomparable Neil Schnall, to our newest member of our faculty, Rabbi Leslie, and to Rabbi Adam and Rabbi Shana and Mr. Benzi Kogan, as well as all the Melton teachers who've moved on in their careers, including Rabbi Dahlia, who's here tonight. We thank you. We all thank you. To our outstanding clergy team, led by Rabbi Yoshi, and including Rabbi Woznica, Rabbi Stern, Rabbi Sari, Rabbi Josh, and Cantor Emma. And thank you, Cantor Emma, for this night and the music that you've brought and your love and friendship. To Tammy and Sharon, Roz, Mark, Stacy, Jessica, David, Cates, Terry, Ryan, and our operations and safety crew, thank you. To the board of directors who embraced our vision for what adult learning could be, and to all of you who were the first in line to register for Melton classes, it's an honor to share this evening with you. I'm grateful to each of you here tonight, both in person and online, for supporting Melton, and I know many of you turned around, and I totally understand, but that I thank you for supporting Melton and for honoring me. To Josh and Micah and Avi, who've continued to be my foundation and who always show up for me in all the ways I need. And to my dear family and friends, near and far, many of whom I met through Melton, who are here cheering me on. My heart is so full tonight. My final message tonight is a callback to that Pirkei Avot quote that I shared earlier. Before teaching that we should greet everyone with a warm and beautiful expression, Pirkei Avot teaches, Aseh Toratcha keva, make our Torah study a fixed practice. Why is it so important, even for adults, to study Torah regularly? I've said it countless times over the years, and I'll take this final opportunity to say it one more time. I believe that serious, ongoing adult Jewish learning has the power to transform individuals, communities, and the Jewish people. The future of the Jewish people depends on Jewish adults taking seriously their Jewish journeys. When your children and your grandchildren see you engaging in your spiritual development, it matters. They're watching. They internalize that this enterprise of being Jewish is a lifelong endeavor. You inspire them, and you inspire me. You open your hearts and minds to Jewish learning, and in so doing, my dear, sweet students, you have become my teachers. For this and for so much more, I thank you. Thank you for this special night and for so many wonderful years. Shabbat Shalom.